GoDaddy. This is where we help take your small business challenges, and me and one of the other presenters, another AI enthusiast at GoDaddy, will help see if we can demo how to solve them. We're going to be just looking at ChatGPT by OpenAI today, and we'll show you how to access it. If you want to start typing in some of your questions and concerns in the Q&A box, we'll try to get them in the order that they're received, and we'll do our best to answer all of the questions and demo how Andy and I would use AI to solve the problem. So with that, I will pass it over to Andy. So Andy, you could give yourself a little intro.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm a product manager here at GoDaddy. I've been at the company almost 8 years, and I currently work on our websites and marketing product. It's a website builder tool, and I work on the editor, so the part that you would use to actually build your website. And I have been playing with AI, in particular ChatGPT and Ollie and things like that for a while now, and I'm just amazed at the things that it's going to allow us to do.
Did you catch the OpenAI Dev Days recording yet? I know it got posted in some of the channels internally.
I have not yet. I had a busy morning of meetings, so it's on my list of things to do.
I've only caught a little bit of it, but it's definitely really exciting. So Andy is one of the folks. We've had a lot of different people join me over the last few weeks, and we have 3 more coming up. So if you want to register for future office hours, definitely you can do that at events.godaddy.com. Ashley can throw the link in the chat, and it'll be in the description on YouTube when we post it. But yeah, Andy's one of the people so far that actually probably works on AI stuff at GoDaddy, or is at least very close to it. So that's pretty cool. So we might, if we get some curveballs, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up, Andy, to help me out. I'm just going to quickly show a couple slides on screen, just some like kind of disclaimer type stuff that I'd love to just cover with you all to make sure that you understand kind of the risks and limitations of AI. So everybody sees my disclaimer here. So basically, it's just saying that GoDaddy, we're super excited to teach you all about AI, but it's super new. It's in its early stages. And so, your mileage may vary, essentially. And that please, please, please avoid entering any sensitive information. So just be careful what you put in. You don't want to put anything in that you wouldn't want exposed or to be used as part of training the models. And then also, whatever you get out, you just need to review it. You need to make sure that it is something that you feel good about putting out into the world if you're going to use it. Also, although we are demoing ChatGPT today and we work closely with them, this webinar is just for demonstration purposes only. It doesn't represent any affiliation, endorsement, or sponsorship with OpenAI or ChatGPT. And then I'm just going to throw this slide up, but it is available in our small business prompts library, which we'll be demoing. And this is just some really high-level overview of our limitations and risks for AI. So we kind of chatted about this already, about manually reviewing things, because GPTs, like these AI chatbots, can hallucinate. You want to make sure you're fact-checking any claims or citations, even when you're like, hey, generate me a list of quotes by Steve Jobs. Some of those might not be quotes by him. Never enter any sensitive information. Again, like I said, you could be being used to train the models. There's no such thing as 100% secure systems. AI lacks emotional intelligence. Content can be toxic and discriminatory. And then just be careful, because there is potentially copyrighted work, competitor content. If you're generating content, it could be pulled from a proprietary source or something. And ultimately, at the end of the day, use your judgment and consult your legal advisors. So we may be able to speak more about this next week, because I did see there was OpenAI, which creates the tool ChatGPT we're going to be demoing, did a dev days today, and they talk a lot about how they're kind of trying to address this issue of copyrighted work showing up. I won't be able to speak too much today, but there might be some more we can share once we've had a chance to absorb some of what they shared in the next versions of ChatGPT to come out. So I'll stop sharing there. Ashley, do you want to kick us off with a question?
Yeah, we have a couple of them already. Brandy says that her business is in writing, motivational speaking, and workshop facilitation. Let's see, Brandy, is there something specific maybe that you were looking for to use AI with? If you can put that in the Q&A, that would be great.
Yeah, if you have a specific question, like I need more sales, I need more leads, need to help with my marketing, that'll really help us. We can pick from a number of prompts in our library, and I'm excited to show you all how you can do that for yourselves.
Georgia added in here that she needs to use it for engaging with prospects on LinkedIn.
Ooh, that's a good one. So that one will give us an opportunity, Andy, to really focus this prompt a little bit more on LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and share my ChatGPT screen. Let me know if this size works for everybody. I think it's probably a really weird one. Hold on. You can see, right? Okay, perfect. All right, so this is ChatGPT. You can go to chat.openai.com to get your own account. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to smallbusinessprompts.com, and that'll redirect you to our prompt library, where we have been curating, testing, and paying prompt engineers to help us create prompts, and we have them all listed below. There are these quick links here if you want to learn how to start with ChatGPT, Google Bard, Bing AI. There's this article I mentioned on risks. We just started we just launched this cheat sheet, which is really great. It's a little PDF you can download or print out. And then we've got more AI office hours you can join as well. So we do have these by business objective if you're selling physical goods, digital goods, or you're a service business. This was our original section here by category. So we'll probably jump into digital marketing and social media to see if there's anything there that can help you with LinkedIn. And then we also started adding recently prompts by vertical. We've got one missing, obviously, that's still getting reviewed by legal. But yeah, we're ready to jump in here. So Ashley, the question was how to specifically use LinkedIn. I'm guessing for networking and lead generation is kind of what we're thinking.
Yeah, it looks like for engaging with prospects on LinkedIn, and to go back to Brandy's business as well, similar, looking to create more leads and prospects.
Yeah, okay. So engagement best practices. I wonder if this would be a good one. We could start with. This is customer service though. So responding to inquiries, I'm going to say that probably we're going to try the digital marketing one. This one's really good for there's a lot of great prompts in there for specifically using and creating a social media calendar. In digital marketing, let's see if any of these look good. And sorry, Ashley, remind me of the business. Was it a local? Do we know if it's local?
Let's see.
Sorry, my brain needs more coffee at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's in writing, motivational speaking, and workshop facilitation.
Yeah, okay. All right. Writing, motivational speaking, and workshop facilitation. I'm going to put this digital marketing planning one to test. And then Andy, I would love for you to help us think through how we might optimize this. So I'll go ahead and read it out. I'm noticing my screen. I don't know if it's looking good for all of you, but I know my screen where I'm actually seeing what I'm sharing is looking weird. So let me know if it needs any fixing. Act as a digital expert digital marketing strategist with 20 years of experience. Develop a comprehensive digital marketing plan for a speaking. Sorry, how do we want to sum this one up here? Engaging prospects on LinkedIn, Georgia. What was your other question here? Oh, yeah. On LinkedIn for my business in the motivational speaking industry. Was that it?
Yep.
Okay. It should integrate these strategies: social media marketing, email marketing, content marketing. I think I'm going to nix out email marketing and put in LinkedIn marketing, SEO, PPC advertising. I'm not sure if we want to take advantage of paid LinkedIn advertising, but I'd say paid LinkedIn advertising. Plan should clearly outline the objectives, target audience strategies, and KPIs for each component of the digital marketing mix. Provide an explanation of how each strategy will be helpful and its expected impact on business growth. Anything that you'd add to this one, Andy, to make it a little bit more refined for Georgia's specific use case? I feel like we have some stuff in the DM and some stuff in the chat and some in the Q&A as well.
Yeah, I think that looks like a good start. I tend to find that it's less important where you start and more how you kind of take what you get back and how you fine tune that over time. So I think you should run it and see what you get.
All right, let's do it.
One thing that sometimes helps is because ChatGPT has the ability to go back and forth and you can kind of ask follow-up questions, is that sometimes instead of giving it a whole bunch of instructions all at once, is if you kind of set the stage and say, you're doing marketing for a motivational speaker and so on, and then give it one set of instructions like that first thing you want it to do, and then follow it up after its response with follow-up questions or follow-up tasks.
Totally. Yeah, we'll see here, and I would love for Georgia you to be active in the chat with Ashley. Let us know if there's anything that feels right or feels off, and we can kind of demonstrate how you can respond within the same chat thread. So it's already repeating back here as part of what we've asked it to do. We've asked it to outline the objectives. So this should all feel right. Hopefully increasing brand awareness and recognition in the motivational speaking industry, generating high quality leads and prospects, thought leadership, driving traffic and conversions, and then measuring and improve ROI. So it just came up with all of that based on us just being like, we need to engage prospects. Like, it knows what we're trying to do here. It's come up with a target audience. So I don't know if Andy, you want to speak a little bit about hallucination for us, but I love talking about this in every single office hours because it's super important for people to know.
Yeah, so I don't know enough about the motivational speaking business to know if anything is being hallucinated here, but for sure, one of the things that you have to be very cautious of in taking any kind of output from any of these ML models is that it can make things up. It can tell you very confidently something, a fact, or Alycia, you mentioned a quote, things like that. And it can say, this is absolutely true, and it is 100% not true. We'll call that hallucination. And so I think really you already mentioned, Alycia, in the disclaimers, it is just really important to make sure that you take whatever you're given and use your own intelligence and knowledge to evaluate it, and take what you believe to be true, discard anything that's not.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what I'd say on hallucination.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know if this is the target audience. It just made this up, and it might be making this up from actual like great opportunities for this business if it's motivational speaking. But if it's motivational speaking for a specific segment, you'd want to say that. And so we could always add that and say like, hey, my target audience is actually this other group of folks, I guess. Like, but this seems to make sense to me. It just it's probably pulling that from somewhere in its training data. It made the connection that these might be good targets for your marketing efforts.
Well, and one thing you can do if you're not entirely sure is, because ChatGPT allows you to ask follow-up questions, you could say, why did you choose these target audiences for my business? And it can provide some more information. And then you can look at it and say, well, you made a bad assumption here, so I'm not going to go with this particular audience.
Yeah. I often find that ChatGPT also has a lot of preamble too. You can ask it to not repeat anything back to you sometimes, and that'll get rid of like the part where it just rephrases what your question is. It's a good active listener in that way. So it's talking about each individual one, like, why are these audiences a good target for your motivational speaking business? And then it gets broader with the categories as it goes down. So they're chosen based on their alignment with the motivational speaking industry and potential to become clients. So we could probably ask it for even more details on each individual audience here. And we have some prompts in our library that are really great when it comes to understanding customers. There's a whole section on that. There's a whole section for, I've got my screen all plussed up right now. So let me see if I can get it a little better here. There's a whole section on business operations too that has some really interesting prompts that, don't overlook those. A lot about KPIs. There's some competitor analysis and that sort of thing as well. So y'all
the other things you could do. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say, one of the other things you could do is if some of those target audiences are not relevant to your business, you could say, please don't include this one. Now, how would you change your business plan? And so it might actually then say, oh, well, I would recommend doing things a little differently. Here's an updated version of that plan.
Totally. Yeah. Like, I don't have the team size to do content marketing. You can say that. You could say, I have this many resources on my team, or it's just me, one person business owner, that'll help it really refine kind of the next steps in something that's actually achievable. Because sometimes like these outputs, especially with our prompts being so heavy in how we designed them, we wanted to err on the side of like providing you the most impactful results. But you can definitely be like, hey, simplify this for somebody who's brand new to marketing. One of my favorite reprompts is say, can you condense this? Can you simplify this? Can you help me understand or explain this thing? Just like Andy was saying, it's a conversation. You can think of it like somebody that you've hired or I don't like using the word confidant because, again, be careful what you enter, sensitive information. But it is somebody that, it feels like it's somebody that you can talk to who has just vast amounts of knowledge, because that's really how it was designed to come across.
So the one other suggestion I'd have here is the more personalized information you can give in your initial prompt about your business, the better the response will be. And so, we kept it very generic, and we said, you're building marketing plan for a motivational speaker, but the more you can tell it about what that really means, like, do you, run monthly motivational speaking lectures for a certain kind of people? Do you, what kind of workshops do you facilitate and things like that? The more personalized the response will be to you. So unless you want it to be just about, motivational speakers in general, the more you can provide details of how your business actually runs and the things that make it unique, the better off you'll be.
Awesome. And one thing I'd like to add in that too is, as you're doing that, something when I first got started with using ChatGPT and AI is I would ask for that information, and I'd also ask, and provide why you are giving me this information. Provide an explanation to it, and it will provide you an explanation so you can kind of weed out what works and what may not work.
Totally. Another one we might get a chance to try here, and I'll ask you, Ashley, for the next one in a second. Sometimes with prompts like this, at the end, I'll add a sentence. Ask me any clarifying questions before you continue. And then the first response it'll give is, okay, here's 10 questions. And you can answer as many as you want. You can answer one of them, you can answer all 10. And then as soon as you enter the next response, it will output what you originally asked for. And it will use all of that extra little bits of variables about your business to really, really make the answer even better. So hopefully we have a chance to demo this today. Ashley, what's next?
Tanya would like to know how she can use AI to drive more traffic to her site. I love this.
Right. This is usually a lot of what we get in these calls is like, I need more traffic, I need more business. And so we love it. So there are, if you want specifically SEO, you're trying to drive SEO traffic or create content, we have some of those sections too. I'm going to try and head back to the digital marketing. There's also sales section. Like I said, a lot of this is really focused on the things that, we see as being the core trouble spots. There is a productivity section, which we haven't demoed yet, which is about time saving. And I saw a question about, I wish I had more hands. So I'm hoping we get to do that. All right, we tried the digital marketing strategy one. Do we want to try maybe the planning one? Is there one here? Sorry, I didn't catch the name. Ashley?
Tanya, if you can provide some more information about your business, that would help us a little bit.
Oh, I almost stopped the recording. I was trying to look around here. Tanya, where are you? Ocean in Toronto. Oh, hey, I'm Canadian too. Nice. Awesome. I sometimes get to the point in the demo where I try to show GoDaddy.ai, and it's not available in Canada yet, but there are some really cool things coming to GoDaddy if you want to check out GoDaddy.ai. Did we get a response back, Tanya?
I'm still waiting for that. But there is a lot in business operations and also in getting started in the library for both of those, just to kind of start with a plan.
That's why I was here, because I saw you had responded to somebody with this. So do we want to do build a business plan?
Yeah, I think that would be a good one for that. And that kind of answers the question too that, and I apologize, I think it was Brandy made a comment about how can AI give more hands? Let AI be an employee for you. Let them
essentially, it could be a very so I apologize, it was Tanya, right? So I'm trying to see, for some reason I'm not seeing her original question. I'm just bouncing around trying to find it. E-com business, is that the one?
No.
Nope.
Oh yeah, Tanya, an econ business, sell makeup cases made with recycled ocean plastic.
Oh,
I love that.
I love that so much. Yeah, beauty industry. I'm gonna say eco-conscious. Beauty industry. Write a detailed plan for, and I think we have the business name too. Ocean. Love that. I'm not gonna say. I'll say online because it sounds like it's e-commerce. Yep. I'm going to specify here too. We sell cases recycled ocean plastic. I think there's going to be some really cool opportunities come up in this plan. So your advice, I'll just read it. I think we've got all the variables, and then Andy, if you feel like you want to add some, we can definitely ask Tanya for more. Act as a successful entrepreneur and business coach. You are advising me on starting my first business in the eco-conscious beauty industry. Write a detailed business plan for Ocean in online e-commerce sales. We sell makeup cases made with recycled ocean plastic. This plan should cover all essential elements such as executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization and management, service or product line, marketing and sales, funding request, financial projections, and an appendix. Also include any other topics you believe should be included in a business plan to ensure success for this type of business. I feel like this is probably a good one for us to ask me any clarifying questions, because I feel like it's going to hallucinate a lot. So I don't know, Andy, if you think we should try that, or if we want to just demonstrate the hallucinations.
Yeah, you could add that in. And one of the things that I found is if you say, ask me any clarifying questions, like one at a time, instead of giving you this list of 10 and expect you to answer them all, it will actually give you, often it will give you one question and then you can answer it and it'll ask another one. And sometimes that'll allow you to kind of like cut things short. If you're like, okay, no more questions, I've answered everything I want to answer. Now just take what I've given you.
See, this is a personal preference because I actually like the wall of text, because I'm going to show you how I'm going to answer it. And so Tanya, you might have to be quick on the draw here and answer some questions for us. Oh, it totally skipped my question. All right, it obviously didn't need any clarifying questions from me. It might have some at the end. Just see what happened here. Let's see, maybe it hallucinated some things. All right, starting a business in the eco-conscious beauty industry is a commendable and promising endeavor. I love how polite ChatGPT in particular is. I always find to say please a lot. All right, so it's got some things here, some things for you to fill in. It's come up with a mission statement for you. I don't know if you have one already, Tanya, but it's made one for you, and you can definitely tweak it with reprompting. It's got an overview of the company business goals. All of this is ready for you to like copy and paste into a slide deck, and it's come up with, again, a target market. I don't know if this is your target market. I'm guessing, it's coming up with this based on what it knows about, eco-conscious shoppers in the beauty industry. It didn't specify, gender or anything like that, which is interesting. Market trends, growing demand for eco-friendly products. So it's talking about all just like the high level stuff here. It's not really helping you as much with like how to create sales at this point. It's going over just what would be in a business plan. So there's a lot here. It keeps going. For marketing strategy, it's focusing on social media, email, and online advertising. No big surprise there. Some content marketing as well with tutorials, videos. Collaborations with eco-friendly influencers. I knew this was going to be in here. Some funding stuff, which is interesting. Again, you might be like, I'm good, I'm fully funded, or hey, like, let's go deeper on that. I didn't see any questions at any point here. So maybe it just had everything it felt like it needed to get to the pieces that we had in here. What we can do now is we can actually add another prompt, because I did start a new chat here. And I do recommend you start a new chat for each new piece of context, because the chat will remember something from previous. So we have a lot now about the business. Ashley, was there any other information from Tanya on what kind of objectives or anything else that we're looking for here?
Let me jump in here. I'm just mainly looking to drive more traffic to the website.
Right. Okay. Sorry, we're coming back to this again. So I'm going to try an SEO one. I think that might be a good one. Because I'm guessing it's like, I want to rank higher in Google. So let's generate a list of target SEO keywords. So because we've already described the business quite a lot, we can actually get rid of a lot of these variables here and just say, for my business. So generate a diverse and targeted list of highly effective SEO keywords for my business. Utilize proven keyword research tools and techniques to identify relevant keywords with high search volume and low competition. Consider factors such as target audience, industry trends, and specific offerings. Craft a keyword list that covers primary keywords, long tail keywords, and location-based keywords. Those location-based ones might be interesting here. So it's going to go ahead and come up with some primary keywords that you can be using in your content to drive more traffic. These would be great for you to include in blog posts. And then there's more prompts as well, where you could, come up with 10 topics on how to sell eco-friendly makeup cases with blog posts. And then it will come up with those engaging topic titles, and you can even like generate the content entirely there. And this is especially where we get into like, okay, definitely read and check through for no, false claims or anything like that that might be being generated by the hallucination, or just like how it's coming up with things. It's got some location-based keywords. So if you wanted to target some cities and states that you know are more, have a higher population of folks who are eco-conscious, or there's a bigger sort of industry there. Anything that you'd sort of add to this one, Andy?
No, I think this is good for SEO. I think the next thing I would recommend for Tanya is like doing a prompt around social media posts. Like, how would I, give me 10 social media posts that I can post to Facebook, and include the tags that you'd recommend.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and generate. Can you generate 10 blog posts ideas based on all you know about my business? Okay, so we're going to drive traffic. We can even say specifically to drive traffic. And honestly, Don, you can come here and be like, I need traffic for my business. Can you help me? Like, just start with a basic prompt. These mega prompts are nice, but they're not, they're not the end all be all. So it's come up with a bunch of them. You can take each one of these ideas and then ask it to create an outline for the post. You can ask it to completely write the post. I want 1,000 words on this. You can change the tone if you're like a fun and funky brand versus like a super professional or buttoned up one. I'm going to go in now and I'm actually going to ask it to write captions for these as if we had these blog posts already written. So embody the role of a skilled copywriter and provide guidelines for writing captivating social media captions for my business. So it might actually take some of what it knows above. Share techniques for creating attention-grabbing hooks, storytelling elements, and calls to action for my business. We already know the business and industry. Offer advice on tailoring captions to specific platforms and audience preferences. Empower me as an entrepreneur to craft compelling captions that enhance engagement and drive desired action. So all this so far is just going to give you a guidebook, like a playbook for how you're going to do captions, and then provide 5 examples in a, let's go with fun and funky. I don't know what your brand is, but you can come in here, Tanya, and run it all yourself to promote each of the blog posts above. So we're going for a lot of info here. I can ask it to output as a table. I can ask it to output it in almost any format. Let's just see if it does it. Sometimes it's tricky. So it's starting off with, like I said, all those guidelines. Use emojis, keep it concise, tell a story, include a CTA. And then it's gone ahead and created some captions for each of the blog post titles. So it's only picked 5 of them, but you see it's already got emojis in there. It's got hashtags. And it's kind of like going for a more fun tone of voice because we've asked for that. So there you go. You never have to write your own captions for social media again.
Another fun thing you can do when you're asking about social media stuff is tying it to holidays. And so you could ask, what are the biggest holidays, that I should be aiming for to sell this product, or let's say Earth Day, is one that you want to take advantage of. Like, write me 5 social media posts for Earth Day that will drive traffic to my business.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about grammar or spelling.
Yeah, there you go. Earth Day, like it picked up on the sustainable, recycled plastic and all that, and picked that as the first one.
Plastic free beauty. That's a good hashtag. I love it. And you could actually even specify, like, I want these to be for Instagram. I want these to be for TikTok, because there are different character limits. There may be different hashtags that are popular. Right now, the free version of ChatGPT has information up till January of 2022, I think, but they are releasing an update shortly that will bring it up to April of this year, April of 2023. Yeah, this is World Oceans Day. I didn't even know about some of these days. This is awesome. Plastic Free Day. These are so good. So you can generate as much as you want. It's literally, it's a free tool, y'all. Chat.openai.com. I love it personally. We have other tools that we recommend, or not recommend, I should say. We have other tools that we have guides for. GoDaddy does not particularly endorse any particular product. We're just trying to show demos here. but me personally, not speaking on behalf of the company, I use this one a lot. And yeah, let's jump into another question.
This is a follow-up question of hers real quick, and then we can get to Jose's question and Janelle's question. She wanted to know about visuals. So she says that it seems great for the language. What about visuals to, from what I'm understanding, to potentially go along with this language?
Yeah, that's a really good one. And I did say in last week's Open AI office hour or office hours that we would try to see if we could do some AI art generation. Let me just see if I can pop over to the OpenAI playground and show you all how Dolly works. Now, Dolly is a little different. It works on a credit system, and you only get a few credits for free. I'm not sure if, Andy, if you're familiar with the latest there on how Dolly...
Well, yeah, one thing to know is it is significantly more expensive than ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is, on the order of like hundreds of a penny per query. I believe Dolly is about 15 cents per query. So if you're on a budget, you need to be a lot more judicious about the prompts that you send to Dolly.
Great call. And I will say there are free tools, and our AI cheat sheet does talk about some of them. And there are new tools all the time. If you would like us to talk more about these in our content, please do me and Ashley a favor and go to your favorite social media and, send us a message via any of the channels that you prefer on your social, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, anything, LinkedIn, and just let us know that this has been helpful to you and you want to see more. And that'll help us, show to GoDaddy's leadership team that this is a really good use of our time and that we should be providing even more education on AI tools for small business owners. Like I said, we're very limited to just showing OpenAI right now. That's what we have permission to do. So I would love to open that up and prove the value of showing even more tools to you all and making the AI office hours a more permanent feature for us. This is really a test. We're doing 8 weeks. We're now on episode 4. I'm going to jump over now quickly to Dolly. I did get it open and confirmed it's still showing private info here. So, all right. So we're in Dolly. And just as an example, when you get into, it's now labs.openai. If you search for Dolly, you'll find openai.com/Dolly2. And there's some really cool videos that explain how Dolly works. Dolly 3 is about to come out, and it's going to connect ChatGPT and Dolly, which is super exciting. So you can highlight over this and you can see the prompt that was put in here. A 3D render of a cute tropical fish in an aquarium on a dark blue background, digital art. An armchair in the shape of an avocado, an expressive oil painting. So you can go quite deep with like your prompt, but you can also make it very simple. I will say Dolly is not the first tool that I would probably use for generating visuals. And you do need to be careful again, because it may be pulling from copyrighted content. There are a lot of things that are being put into place to make tools more fair for artists and that sort of thing as well. But does anybody have, I guess, what kind of visual could we put to this one? We could probably put in one of the prompts that we have here. I guess we don't necessarily want to generate a, let's talk about Andy, help me come up with one here. I'm thinking a vision of ocean plastic being turned into a makeup bag or something. Yeah. Painting of ocean plastic. And feel free, if anybody in the chat wants to give me some artistic directions here. I am more of a copywriter than a visual designer. So
so one thing as you're writing this, one thing to keep in mind is your prompt is going to have a few different elements to it. There's the what do you want it to render? And so it's going to be ocean plastic being turned into a makeup bag. And then there's the kind of medium that you want. And so it can support, photographs, oil paintings, watercolors, digital art, cartoons, you name it. And so make sure that you include that. And then there's all these other additional terms you could use. So you could, you could say dark or light or blurry or stylized, all these things that kind of modify it. And in fact, if you're a photographer, it understands a lot of the terms. So you could say, shallow depth of field, big f-stop or whatever. It even understands certain film grains and photography terms that I don't know about. that you can kind of use to qualify, and that will dramatically affect what you get back as a result.
Totally. Yeah, while you were talking, I remembered that we do have this in our new cheat sheet that we just put out. So I know Ashley dropped a link to it. So any ideas, anything we should add here, Andy? Like maybe some emotion? We won't want it to be sad, right? This is supposed to be a positive image. So like maybe,
right.
It's like, oh, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. So a beautiful, happy painting of ocean plastic being turned into a makeup bag. We could say bright colors. I don't know. I'm just going to go for it. This takes a second. So I was not ready. I was not prepared for this today. So let's just see what happens. And I mean, no matter what it looks like, it's just incredible to think that, this is even possible. And what it does is it'll produce more. I was worried about this. Sometimes with Dolly, you get this because here's what's happening with a lot of AI tools is the way they're trained is imagine feeding it all the content. And in this case, it looks like, children's paintings. I don't want that, right? I want something that is just trained on professional art, or I just want something that is trained on like DeviantArt, for example, which tools like Midjourney are. So this is pulling from clip art. It's pulling from everything that it's been trained on. I'm pretty sure that they're going to solve a lot of these issues with DALL-E 3. So I'm not even going to use any of these ones. I feel like we need more context from a designer here. And again, if you please tweet us, LinkedIn, Facebook, message us, and let us know that you liked these office hours. We'll try to see if we can demo a different tool like Midjourney. There's a couple others that I think we mentioned as well. So for design, yeah, auto draw is a really good one. Midjourney is fantastic if you are familiar with using Discord. Gamma is great for presentations. There's another one too that one of my colleagues just mentioned recently, but I would have to prep for it. So it's not pictures of the world, but these were created on a thin air. They do not exist.
This also raises one other weakness with most image generators, is that if you look at that second one, the text on it, not sure what it says, Plessy Play Plaque or something.
Oh yeah.
These image generators do really poorly with text. Like you could ask it to create a sign that says this thing, and it will almost always get it wrong. So they are working on ways to make this better. There are a few startups that have done a good job with this, but for the most part, expect that if you're going to have an image with text in it, that that text is probably going to be wrong. And so generally, I would avoid that.
All right. I don't know if we want to try another one. I feel like I get humbled every time I use Dolly because I get output like this. And it's not exactly, it doesn't look like what I saw, here on like.
I would maybe try it with a photograph, because then it can't use all those children's drawings.
Yeah, real.
And I think this is a really good example too. Like, don't be afraid to test the waters and try different things out, because you're going to get different results. You're not going to break AI. You're just going to get some different results from it. So play around with it and see what works for you.
I found there are tons and tons of guides online for things that you can add to your prompt. People have been playing with this stuff for years now. AI art is not necessarily really new. So I've heard adding things like a award-winning image can make it better because it's pulling from, a corpus of content. So we're in photographic, realistic painting of ocean plastic. Okay, let's see what happens here.
I think it also struggles with some of these more abstract ideas of what does it look like to turn ocean plastic into a makeup bag? Whereas if you were more specific, I don't know, a person holding a compact sitting on top of a pile of plastic jugs or something like that, it might have a better sense of what you're asking for.
Yeah.
So the more specific you can be of what you actually want that picture to be, sometimes the better.
Yeah, I think in my head, I saw ocean plastic filtering into and becoming a makeup bag next to it. I need to say that in words. Otherwise, it's just it's trying to make a makeup bag out of ocean plastic. I can see here, it's got ocean textures. It's trying to make a makeup bag. It's rendering things like brushes, but it's not doing a great job. So stay tuned. We're going to come back to art at another date. I, going to go back to my place of security with ChatGPT.
It's a good reminder too, though, that ChatGPT and all these different AI features, it doesn't replace that emotional feeling. So when you are doing these things, keep that in mind, that you'll want to use those words and those different phrases, because it doesn't have the emotional intelligence that we're having in this conversation.
Totally.
To go back to some of the questions, I have two. One, Janelle asked if this could be used for nonprofit fundraising.
That's a really good one. I don't even know that we have fundraising prompts.
We don't have any fundraising prompts specifically, but I would recommend, Janelle, that I look at fundraising very similar to any other business. So potentially looking maybe at sales, I was going to say, Alycia.
Yeah, that might be a good one. I was going to see if maybe there was something in operations, because it came up in the business planning one. I realize I'm not sharing my screen right now. I think we might have stayed.
And I was also thinking about entertainment, because engaging your audience dynamically, marketing. So I don't know.
So this is where let's create one. And I don't know if Stacy is on today, Ashley, but let's put this as a note to see if we can explore adding a prompt based on funding, because I think this is probably not a new issue. We definitely have blog posts on this topic, so we can definitely check it out. Where am I today? I am in. There we go. Back to sharing my screen. All right, Andy, help me with a prompt for this.
Well, I was going to ask maybe a clarifying question of what aspect of fundraising, are you interested in? Is it the words that you're going to send to people to try to convince them? Like, do you want to know 5 reasons why people should fund your nonprofit? Is it coming up with ideas for how to solicit fundraising? That would be helpful to know, because I think the prompt, would be very different based on what specific job you're trying to do there.
And did we see what type of business it was, Ashley? Because that would probably help as well.
I didn't, so I just asked for some additional information.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Janelle said for both. So both ideas for how to fundraise, and then suggestions about the words you use when you talk to people. Yeah.
I'm just going to say for nonprofit. I know she said that. All right, let's just run this, and then I might even try to ask me any clarifying questions, because it didn't really do it last time. For proceeding, please. Oh, it didn't do it. I don't know why it does not like me today. Maybe they've changed something. All right, so funding for business, define your funding business needs. So you can even respond and say, here's my business's mission, vision, and goals. Can you help me develop a compelling pitch? Again, I need help with this. So you could say, I need help developing a compelling pitch. Can you help me, please? I always say please. Identify your target investors, network and outreach, create a strong online presence, prepare financial details. You can ask it to break down any of these steps. There is a tool that I've been playing around with called Tools, which is exactly that. It's like ChatGPT, but for breaking down a task list. And you can just keep breaking down and keep breaking down. And that's the babyest step that you need. Target outreach, man, there's a lot of steps here. So this is great. And then, as with anything, usually if you're asking for legal financial advice from ChatGPT, it'll ask you for this too. So again, we're not financial advisors here at GoDaddy. We're just running this to kind of show you what's possible. So we need to be careful. We're not providing any advice here. I need help developing a compelling pitch. So here we go. This is a little bit more our speed. Start with a hook, right? Help me brainstorm hooks for my business. Ask me any clarifying questions, right? We could probably do something like that. Hook for my business.
And she added some information, Alycia, I don't know if this helps, but she's raising funds for providing basic necessities for children and adults with mental challenges.
Business, it is for helping, with mental health for children
and adults with mental challenges, basic necessities.
Yep. Cool. All right, and then go ahead and it'll ask, finally is demoing what I wanted it to. So yes, your mission here, what specific challenges? Do you have any unique or innovative approaches? How are you addressing basic necessities? Are there any heartwarming or impactful stories related to your work? Who's your target audience? What is the main message or emotion you want to convey? Feel free to write your answers in the chat here, but we could start making some things up. I could just, say broad range challenges. I'm just going to respond really quickly because I know Andy likes these one-on-one, one by one, but I like to just solve them all at once. We provide therapy and support groups. And again, you can run this for yourself. So I'm just going to make stuff up. Are also providing access to resources. We have lots of stories to share, and I'm only going to answer those ones and then see what it puts out after. So now it's going to go ahead and provide the hooks. So this hook combines elements of empathy, hope, and the power of collective action. And it kind of talks a little bit about that. So this is how you can break it down and ultimately just get with every piece of this. So you can, save this in your notes somewhere and come back to each section and just ask it to walk you through. You can even ask it to create a whole project plan for you about how you could spend an hour a day, executing against this plan. So any other things that you would add here, Andy, to make this more impactful?
No, I think I would then, probably follow it up with some additional, more specific questions like, or some other prompts like, write me a list of the 5 top reasons why, someone would consider donating to my nonprofit, or, write me a 2 to 4 paragraph email that I can send to potential donors, explaining why we need this money and why they should give, or something like that. So be very specific about what that output that you want and how you're going to use it.
Yeah. And it's just that quick too, right? Like it's already going to go ahead and just like, here's an email. So the more it knows about you and your specific use case, which is why we love doing these trainings. So Andy and I can run these all day, but your business and your vision for your business the best. And so having this conversation and understanding what's possible, but also the limitations and risks is kind of why we're here. So hopefully you're all finding this super valuable. I know we've got 10 minutes left. So Ashley, we're going to try and squeeze in 1 or 2 more here.
This was one Jose's brought up both in the chat and the Q&A. But and where did it go? I just lost it. Oh, he's trying to move clients from WordPress to GoDaddy website builder and use AI and ChatGPT to create a site in hours. I don't know if we want to direct him someplace. That's a very big ask, but I wanted to address it. Jose, I was not ignoring you.
Totally. So
I can talk a little bit about that since I
thought it'd make Andy happy.
Yeah. Well, so the good news is that that Websites and Marketing already has a bunch of AI features built in. And so for one, when you create a new website, one of the pieces of information you'll be asked for is what kind of business you have. And we have over 1,600 different types of businesses, from dog walkers to cheese stores to electricians. And each one of those we will start you with content and copy that is geared towards that particular type of business. So there will be an about section, that is different if you're a dog walker than if you're an electrician. We also have a feature where you can then go in and say, show me some other versions of this text that I might like. And those are all written using AI. And I can't go into a lot of details, but more features are coming soon. So it's just going to continue to get better and better. I think if there's more that you'd like to do that's not supported directly by the product, you can always use these tools that we've been looking at, like ChatGPT, to give you guidance about, what should I write here? We use it to sometimes say, hey, if I wanted to build a website for this kind of a business, what kinds of sections, would you put on it? And then it'll give you this ordered list and say, you should have a photo gallery here, you should have an about section, then you need an online store. And then you can use it to actually write some of that copy for you. And so if you, for example, your about section for your website is a really important thing. That's what distinguishes you from your competition. That's what converts, prospective customers into real customers. And so if you want to use ChatGPT, you can give it a whole bunch of information about your business and what you think is special about you and all this, and say, now write me an about section, and it will give you that copy that you can then copy and paste into your website's marketing site.
That's awesome. I love it. Jose, I want to try and answer your question too. So I'm just going to ask it straight up and ChatGPT and see what happens. But Andy gave a lot of really great information there. And I don't think we have like an importer tool from WordPress necessarily, but that's a great feature request.
What you could do if you're interested is you could say, I want to write an about section for my website, ask me some questions, and then when you have enough information, write that about section for me. I've tried that before and it's worked really well.
That's so good. Yeah, like ask me questions to help me write an about page specific for here's my audience, here's my objective with my business, like help me make this really impactful for people reading my about page. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I feel like this kind of stuff is probably going to be built into our products at some point where like you're just going to, I was like, you should just answer a survey and then boom, here you go, there's your website. But more to come. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the Substack so that you get notified when we launch really cool stuff at GoDaddy. All right, so Jose's question was, I'm trying to move clients from WordPress to GoDaddy's website builder. So I'm just going to see, I mean, you said use AI and ChatGPT, create a site in hours. I think that part Andy spoke to a lot. I'm just going to say, how can I do this quickly? There wasn't really a clear question from you, Jose. I'm just going to see if this right.
Well, Jose, the good news is that the website builder it's designed not to require any kind of coding. And so AI or not, a lot of this is just baked into the product. And so, if you want to add a calendar, you don't have to write any code to do it. You add a calendar, call it a widget or a section, and you can customize it.
Yeah, all this stuff, I feel like Andy just spoke to. This is all like how quickly, I think migrating any content, existing blog posts might be the part that, might need some help from the GoDaddy support team. I think there might be some kind of way of importing, but we'd have to check it out or possibly using some kind of feed there. I don't know, unfortunately. I think that the upfront stuff here it's talking about is just getting accounts set up and just taking some backups and sort of figuring out what you need to migrate. WordPress websites can be very vast. They can be very simple. So I think that it's going to depend. Here's sort of a checklist for you. So at least that way you've got it covered. All right, 5 minutes left. Ashley, do you have any other people who are excited in the chat? Any other burning questions or?
We had a couple of general questions. One being asked about how much is this? And I did send off the prompt library with the quick links on the right-hand side because we are using ChatGPT today and some different sources. These aren't necessarily GoDaddy specific, so we don't charge the fees.
This is all free though. The small business prompt library is free. Yeah.
Yep. That's all free. Yep. And then those guides right there, that'll help guide you if you're just getting started. And then the question, and I apologize, I should know this. I know we are recording the session. They wanted to know if this is going to be emailed to them at the end or if they can go just to our YouTube channel and our newsletter.
This is a very good question. I know Jeffrey is off this week, so it might be next week. I would say the best way to ensure that you're going to get this, if Ashley, I think we'll be able to get this out for the Friday newsletter. So we just have to do some stuff on our side to make sure that we can get it ready for YouTube. But if you come to smallbusinessprompts.com, like I said, you'll be here on the prompt library. We can get all that guidance. And then down here, you can put in your email and subscribe to GoDaddy resources. We do one email every Friday that is specific to AI for small business. And we do one email every month to recap the best of the blog posts, because there's actually a whole resource library here that we've created, that you definitely check out. You can search for things. I know there was that question about funding. I'm pretty sure if you search for it, you're going to find a bunch more recent articles. This is a little bit of a more outdated article, but there are some newer ones that might be a topic we need to update. But yeah, definitely check it out. Any other questions, general ones, Ashley, we can solve before we're out of time here?
That's all I had in here.
Awesome. Well, as well, we're going to download the chat and just check and see how y'all are feeling about this. Hopefully, I can see some people got some value out of it. Please do follow us on social, message us so that we know that you had a good time here today and that other people can see and can join. Share this with your friends. We'll be back again next week. Thank you, Andy, so much for taking time out of your awesome, busy day to join us and speak to your experience working on the product team. It was really a pleasure and hope you had fun too.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.